What's Matt? What's happening with Matt?
This is what he looks like. Okay, so this is Matt. Like, okay, look, he's like this.
I can't really do it, like, because this will happen. I can't do it because of this.
We're all talking a Matt.
Right, hold up. Let's all do a Matt, but I can't really do it.
Can we record this, please?
I'm already recording.
Is it already recording? Okay, we're doing a Matt. Wait, I should try and get it like exactly like his. Wait, give me.
Yeah, do it.
Alright, here we go. Okay.
Move it a bit.
I don't know where my
Other way.
light is.
Oh no,
Huh?
other way.
No, to me it's like that. So.
All right, well fine. Just do the opposite then.
I've
Okay,
got a
fine,
different light, but okay.
Here. Is that good?
I got a
Light
bad
turned
light.
off.
Is that good? Okay.
There we go. This is fucking stupid. Okay, welcome to Dungeons & Dragons podcast that we're going to be trying and doing. We're using Roll20 because Roll20 is amazing and awesome. I have the party with me. Ethan's just joining
look
us.
who's back.
Ethan's back. So we have Nick as Frisko, Matt as Ziltoid, Jess as Liara, Ethan as Pothole, and Jay as a new character into the party. We have been playing this party already for the past couple of months, maybe 2 or 3 months, just to get these guys sorted out and ready so they know the rules. Majority of the party is level 4, and if they're not, they will level up to level 4 this session. So, without further ado, I will get Frisko to introduce himself first. Frisko, who are you, what are you, and what do you do?
I am a goblin. I basically live to thieve anything around me. And yeah, that's basically what I do. And I've been joining this party for quite some time, and we've been going through a lot of ventures.
Beautiful. Ziltoid?
Hello, I am Ziltoid. I am a Drow Seeker. I like to work alone. I'm also incredibly insensitive.
Beautiful. Liana?
Hi, I'm Liara. I am a half-elf knight. Yeah,
Cool.
pretty awesome.
Cool. Pothole?
I'm Pothole. I'm a Warforged Barbarian. I do stuff.
Any background information that you need to tell?
I recently had a pet cat that I was trying to be nice and helpful to give to some witch, but she didn't accept the gift, and she eviscerated the cat that it became a pool of blood, and it managed to aim correctly into my mouth. And since I am a robot, basically my mouth is just wedged open, so now there's just a pool of blood with the cat's tag dangling on the outside.
You also can't
cat.
speak because you were never installed with the voice box. You've got parts of your body that are missing. So as the adventure goes...
I'm still waiting for more parts.
Yeah, as the adventure goes, he'll be finding parts, trying to put himself back together. Wrong. And Matt's taking his mask off. And Jay, finally. Jay, your character we do not know, but Jay... Do you want to tell us about your old character and what happened to him? And why you've been replaced?
Okay. My old character Dread was a half-human orc barbarian, and I loved him a lot. I related to him a lot. He actually followed the creed of his religion, surprisingly. He was a really nice guy. He was very upfront. He was very like, let's get into battle, let's save people. I might have accidentally got Christoph Goldfried killed. But yeah, he was a pretty awesome guy, and he died from a natural 20 roll and an 18 critical hit. And that was pretty intense. So it was like a long sword straight through the chest.
Two-handed sword straight through the chest.
So straight to the chest, made a gaping hole.
It was the worst moment of my life.
And like I thought it was like really dramatic. So it was like in my head I had it like how I died.
Yeah.
And it was sad. It was kind of like he stood there and he was like, oh, looking up at the guy, and he's like, and that's how it happened. So anyway, okay.
Alright, beautiful.
But it was sad, so that's why I have a new character.
Yep. And obviously I'm not playing a character because I am the dungeon master. I control the battles, I control the thing, and I do everything. That's awesome. Now, a bit of backstory on the world. Currently, we are fighting in the land of Warenth. Warenth is a land that is currently war-torn with a huge orc invasion from the south. Warenth is about halfway up the island, and Warenth is the halfway island, I guess you could say, and these guys have been mainly in the town of Waterweight. Waterweight is a city that has about 10,000 people living in it. It's overpopulated by at least 2,000, so it's about an 8,000 cap city, but because it's so overly populated, it's been building up. But there's been lots of wars down in the south, which is why it got so popular. It had a lot of money, but with the fall of a nearby city, it became the front line of the battle, so people became a lot more depressed, a lot more recessed, less money was coming in from that town from selling to them, so the town became very desolate and discreet and destroyed. There was a recent disease in that town which was causing people to die at an alarming rate. A third of the population actually died, and they ran out of graves, so they threw them into a pit, just because that's all they could do, just throw it into a pit. The orcs then invaded further north and invaded the town of Triple, which is where the party originated from.
Sorry guys, I just gotta move.
That's all good. Yeah, the party was in Triffle when that town fell because of an orc invasion, but they managed to get towards Waterweight. In Waterweight, they were hired by the city guard to do some defensive stuff, help out the guards here and there. Then they were sent out to scout a orc encampment. When they went out to the orc encampment, they killed a bunch of orcs. They found out some information about them trying to move up further. They then, what happened then? They then what did you do? You investigated a town guard who was inside the east wall. The east wall of the, who am I repeating on? I just wait for someone to sit down.
Yeah.
That's a great crush
Waiting
shot.
for Frisko.
Yeah, Jay, do you want to carry on this thing? Because you know what happened in the rest of the story. So we got up to the part where you're investigating the city guard.
Oh yeah, okay, so we're investigating the city guard because there's something fishy going on. And so we followed him, and then, you know, shit happened. We chased him, and we got attacked by were-rats, wasn't it?
That was it, yeah, when you went in the sewers.
Yeah, and my old character, Dread, ran into a cult, which was very stupid.
Cult of Orcus.
Cult of Orcus, and that was actually the freakiest thing my character's been in. And they were gonna kill me, and thank God, like, this is where Liara came in. This is where Liara's character came in, and oh, thank Christ, because I was going to die. It was inevitable.
Okay.
Yeah, so they came in, helped me, and then after that, the city was burning, and we're just like, what the hell's going on? And zombies were attacking.
No, orcs.
Wasn't it?
Orcs.
Oh, the orcs were attacking. So the orcs were attacking. That was the first time. The orcs were attacking.
Yeah, the orcs were attacking the city. They jumped over the walls. Who am I repeating through?
I don't know. I can't hear myself repeat. Oh yeah, I can actually.
I can hear myself repeat. Hello? Is that better?
Who has that speaker on?
Yeah, who's got speakers on?
I think they're like facing way away. So they're not even
Yeah,
near.
I think
but
yeah,
you have headphones or something?
Do you have headphones?
You have headphones, yes.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm using them as my mic.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. You able to hunt down a pair of headphones from my housemate?
He's not here, and his room is terrifying.
Fuck. Because otherwise, all I can hear is a double with me, and it's coming in terrible.
Okay, I have an idea. Okay, the headset. Okay, I know this is totally. The headset I bought, Adam.
Yeah.
You can give that to Jess.
You sure?
We're still all around.
Yeah.
But the problem is that she's out in another. Anyway, you keep going, Chris. Jay with the story, because all I'm getting is repeat.
Okay, yeah. So yeah.
Now.
Yeah. So the place got attacked by orcs, and it was very sudden. Places burning up high. We're like, what fuck? And Liara's brother. I forgot his name.
Benard.
Knight Benard was like our favorite character, and we worked our way up to the boss, and we saw him die, and we're just like, what the hell?
Benard got stabbed to death with a two-handed flayshon.
Yeah, and we went to battle with the the boss with like all our dailies gone basically, because we had battles previous to that, and we killed the boss. We killed the boss dude, and then there was all these encampments, healing
You guys
encampments
found,
and stuff
yeah,
like
you
that.
guys found maps with the encampments on them,
Yeah.
telling you where those camps are. The guard then split up, and they were fighting as to whether they should counterattack and attack these guys while they were low on defense, or whether they should defend the town but wait for the next wave. And they were caught between it, and Liara was in charge because she was in the city guard. She was in charge because her brother died. She was third in command because the second in command had died previously. So she became in charge of the city guard, and she made the city guard decide to stay. So then she sent a small scouting party out to go attack that place, which is when a huge purple light, maybe about 2 days after this happened, a huge purple light came down in the direction that this orc encampment was meant to be. They then then after that, the bodies from the pit started to rise. Now I remind you guys that is a third of the population. Population being 10,000, that means about 3,500 zombies rose up and burst through the gates of the main town, eating and killing people as they went. The party then went to the gate straight away to try and defend them, managed to escape with a couple of the guardsmen, who then ran to tell Liana, who wasn't involved with the battle. She was elsewhere. They split the party. And the party, and then... and yeah, so they the party was split at that point, and half of them went down to look at to look after the townsfolk, and the other half were still inside the
this is where Kristoff's character died.
Yeah, they ended up trying to save a small child. The small child
wanted to run away.
Kristoff tried to run away, and he got attacked by some zombies. He then got eaten alive, basically. The child then escaped. They followed the child up the... They chased this, up onto the rooftops. The child tried to jump across a rooftop and fell and died.
Yeah.
He rolled very badly on his athletics check and then his dexterity check to see if he could grab anything. Oh yeah, we're playing 4th edition as well. We're playing 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, it's a good one. Anyway, they then... Liara ended up getting the... Pardon?
I still like Liara.
Whoa, you're gone robot for a bit, but I think that's just your connection, so just reload the page, and you'll be fine, I think. Anyway, so then, the party then, the drawbridge, was coming up, because on the other side of the town, there's the palace island, which is where the Lord sits. Drawbridge was going up, they tried to escape, a couple of them jumped off, but Ziltoid and Jay's old character, ended up... Dread missed, and Jay ended up breaking his arm. Went into the river. They then fell into the river. The rest of the party's inside the palace. Ziltoid and Jay then went off and got attacked. Came out of the river. Then went to go heal themselves. And while they were healing themselves, they got attacked by goblins, which is when they met up with Kristoff's character, who was a bard. She's helped them out and gave Jay a little bit of healing, but his armor was broken, so they needed a cleric or a paladin to save them. Liara's character was inside the palace gates, trying to make sure that the people who are surviving from the city, which was about 1,000 people who survived it, weren't getting kicked out of the palace. She ended up being very good with diplomacy and getting them through, sorting issues out. Then she got attacked by wraiths while trying to find a catacomb to escape, because she could tell that these people were going to get kicked out at any point. She was trying to find an escape route. They got attacked by wraiths, and they went into the catacombs and ended up... They went through the catacombs all the way, and they ended up meeting up with a spirit who cursed her into... A wraith cursed her into doing his bidding by getting a gem that activated the purple light, which awakened the dead bodies. She then escaped. They then escaped, and they were underneath the drawbridge. She then met up with the party, just almost. They then fought about strawberries for like an hour or so. Who was eating the strawberries and stuff? They then got attacked. They then tried to go back into town. When they got back into... Yeah, they went to go back into town, but they saw a light off in the distance. The light off in the distance was a campfire at the front of a cave that was in control of an Orcus cult. They then investigated, killed people out front, but there were spiders inside that ensnared them and captured them. And they were brought before the captured Queen Spider, who was this huge spider, probably about...
Matt?
Yeah, same size as Matt. No. It's the same size as probably fuck. I don't know how to describe it. It's a big fucking spider. Like think 3 times the size of the spiders in The Hobbit. There's your spider, fucking huge. They ended up persuading that spider to let them free. They then saved them, let them free. Ziltoid then killed some of its children, which he was pissed off about, but with some good diplomacy from Liara, they saved them. They were heading back towards the city, but then the spider decided to attack them. And Liara pretty much one-shot that beast. She was the only one that did proper damage. Everyone else got knocked out. She was still fighting.
What?
That thing had 200 HP, and she just practically killed it by herself. Like, the others kind of took bits here and there, but she did like 150 of that 200 damage to it. They then got back into town, met up with Frisko, who happened to be knocked out during the whole zombie invasion and somehow got let free. He was knocked out and nobody saved him, so he was still left in town. He then met up with them. They then went inside the castle. When they got back inside the palace, they got captured and sent inside the palace. The palace then had an uprising, which they helped out with, and they killed the Lord. But just before the Lord died, Jay's character did die, and we lost him. So, Jay is without a character. And we are at where the party is at now. So, as you remember, there's all around you there are, it's kind of like marble walls, beautiful white pristine walls. The ground's got that dodgy kind of like black, white kind of checkered floor all the way through it. It kind of looks like a kitchen. The Lord's taste was obviously a bit iffy, but, you know, that's the Lord. You guys have been spending about 2 weeks here just healing up, getting ready, getting back together. The head of the palace guard has been talking with you guys, apologizing for, of course, lying about having to capture you guys, but then he ended up saying, well, I did free you, kind of in a sense. You notice that there's really only the palace guard here. A few of the town guard, maybe 50 left of the 1,000 town guard that was there. And as for survivors from the zombie and orc invasion, there is no one here. There's no citizens. Most of the guards have tried to have a look out and scout it out into the city, but sadly, no one has managed to find any survivors. There's still zombies around, still zombies walking around, and it's still raining. It has been raining for about a month and a half now, constantly. You guys have no idea why. Everyone's very curious about it, but it's kind of like, you kind of got used to it now. It's to the point now that you've kind of used to just going outside and being drenched and coming back in and just being wet. So most of your clothes is pretty stanky. You've been offered the armory, so for instance, Ziltoid, with your broken songbow, you were able to get that great bow. You were able to get like a regular great bow, but with no magical effect on it. But and Liara, you found some plate mail that you were able to put on. And the rest of you have just been kicking back and relaxing. Not really much. You've been introduced to a couple of the members of staff. The most notable ones is an old man who was in charge of the palace guards, but then he retired and then the new knight took over. He's been kind of showing you around. He kind of became the gamekeeper in a way. They kind of kept him around because he was so knowledgeable with military and stuff like that. And you've been introduced to a paladin, Heath. Heath has been healing the wounded and the people who are... Oh, we lost pothole. Heath has been healing people and looking after people who have been injured. You've also noticed that there's been a Warforged, I guess you could say butler walking around. He's been just basically walking around serving people here and there. You've seen him once or twice pick up a axe or a sword or a shield and stuff, and you've noticed he's a decent fighter, but which is very strange for a butler, but you've never heard him say a word. And you kind of get this strange smell from the inside of his mouth, which when you get too close is a bit... but he's never said a word, and you notice that certain parts of him are missing. So it does look strange. He kind of looks like a humanoid robot. Like imagine iRobot, but with bits of the limbs missing. Like he's only got 3 fingers and 1 hand, and the other hand he's just got a thumb, and it's kind of got just like a sucker thing for where he puts for where he holds the weapon. He's kind of got like a chest piece missing, a part of his back leg is missing, and he's just constantly, because his jaw's broken, his jaw is constantly open with this strange tag hanging out of it that no one's dared gotten close enough to read. And that's where the strange smell's coming out. And basically he looks like he's got this giant smile, and it's very creepy. So... Like
Jack the Killer?
Basically, yeah, a little bit. It's very sexy. So anyway, 2 weeks have passed, and you've heard no word from the outside world. They've kind of sorted out a way to get over the wall. They've scaled the wall, gone over, killed any zombies that were nearby and able to collect food to bring it in because some of the food was going off at this point. So you've been gathering food, and you guys have been out during this time. You still see there's a large amount of zombies inside the town. They don't seem to be going. But you've also seen lights towards the south, like unnatural lights that are just torches, for instance, going around the cities and stuff. And this is why the knight has called you to the main council hall for a meeting. You've all been invited, and as you guys walk through, you notice that you've got the old man who's there, you've got Heath is there, and strangely enough, Pothole, the butler, is there as well, for some reason. So he introduces, he's like, thank you very much for coming. I've got a dire issue that I need to talk to you about. I've been thinking for some time about what we can do with water weight, and I think we have two options here. Obviously, from the lights down to the south, the orcs seem to be massing. Whether or not they know the zombie invasion is here, we do not know, but they can still attack the palace gates. We do not have enough men to defend. We're barely 200 strong, and that's not enough to guard these walls. We cannot even watch one side with just that amount, and they will attack from all sides. So we need to get reinforcements for the town. But the problem is that we have no way of contacting them, we have no way of talking to them. The only way is to go north to travel by foot. All our ravens have disappeared, and all of our birds that could send a message have gone, and with the guard at the moment, we need so many here. And these guys know the walls, these guys know the parapets, they know the turrets, they know where everything is, they know how to guard this place. Whereas you guys, you've only been here for 2 weeks, and you guys are seasoned adventurers, so you're the best option we have. But the problem is also, if we bring an army here, the zombies will most likely attack. So we've got to balance out the ideas of what we've got to do. The best thing that we've come up with, and he points towards the old man, who you know as John. John's his name. John's the old man. We've been discussing, and we think the best ideas we can do is go up to the north and find all the towns and see if they can spare any men to help defend against the orcs. And at the same time, go to the north and find the churches of Palor and see if they can offer their services to help cleanse the zombies. Now, obviously, because of the way that the orcs have been massing, we may not have enough time to do both. So we have to prioritize on one or the other. What do you guys think of this? Which do you think would be the better option?
Well, I barely know these people, so I don't know what they want to do.
Regardless, I believe the better offer would be to go and get some help, rather than spiritual advice.
True, which means we would have to find a way to get the armies inside the walls. Now, the way that we've done with the hooks is fine for a few men, but I'm talking about gathering 1,000, 2,000 if possible, and moving that amount of people over the walls will be a very bad idea. The ropes will snap, it won't take too long. That's why we think the cleansing might be a good idea. Like, it might be possible for you to do it both at the same time, but there's still that issue of having enough time to get one done or getting one half done. So obviously you can move up to the towns to the north, the closest one being Dina. I don't really personally know too much about the towns. Each of them have like weird ways to run themselves, but obviously you'd have to work to their means. And I'm sure Bina and a couple of the other towns up to the north have heard the rumours about what's happened to Waterweight, and they would be scared, seeing as we're the biggest town to the north. And they were practically being defended by us from the orcs.
What if we went further north and requested assistance from the dwarves?
The dwarves to the north we haven't had contact from in probably the past 5 years. I haven't personally heard word of it, and well, you know the Lord, he didn't step into matters that weren't his own. So the dwarves could offer their help, but then again, it's not their land, so they may not want to help. It's an option, but you would have to cross the sea to get across to the dwarves.
Does anyone else have an opinion to offer?
I guess we should just cross. What else can we do?
Well, Heath, you know.
It seems like crossing is the only idea.
True, but should we gather the help? don't worry. You may be a goblin, but we still take your opinion onto hand.